Welcome, my friends. Thank you for joining me for a few moments with our Good Shepherd. A little boy was frustrated over his math homework, and throwing his hands up in the air, he said, "I can't do this. It's too hard." A little girl had fallen off the balance beam in gymnastics class 5 times in a row. And she sat on the floor and sobbed, "I can't do this, it's too hard." We've been there and done that, and not just when we're children either. And when it comes to our spiritual life, don't we often have that same kind of thinking? It's too hard, I can't control this sin in my life. It's too hard, I can't read through the Bible. It's too hard, I can't invite my neighbor to church or talk to him about Jesus. And then we even put that impossibility thinking onto God. Our reading for today is from the book of Genesis, chapter 18, reading verse 14. "Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah was childless, and now she was in her 80s. And so having a child was an impossibility to Sarah. And so when she heard this stranger's promise that she would have a child by the next year, she laughed. That was completely silly. But what was an impossibility for Sarah was not an impossibility for her God. And that impossible child was born at the very appointed time. And another impossible child was born at the appointed time and laid in a manger in Bethlehem. Is there really anything too hard for God? Nothing, of course, is too hard for God. He has that almighty power, and He asks nothing of our faith that He hasn't supported by His actions in the past. God knows what needs to be done, and that He has opened the gates of heaven. Can't He lead us through it? And so if you are facing some impossibility in your spiritual life, it's not impossible for your God. Rely on Him, trust in Him, and you'll find the impossible becomes possible. We pray. Lord, you did the impossible in bringing me to faith in Jesus. Help me to believe that nothing is ever too hard for you. Amen. Until next time, thank you for being with me, and may God bless